Okay. Oh, wow. This is a strong one. Come on. Almost got you. And, okay, let's see what we got here. It's always the small ones that give us the biggest amount of trouble. Hey everybody, and welcome to Groove Builders, the show where we create together. I'm your host, Disorderlycone, and in this episode, we're going to be building a fish. But not just any fish, the 3D metal model fish from Pen X. At least that's what I'm going to call them for right now. Let me know in the comments down below how to properly pronounce this if you can. These little kits are awesome because they don't really contain a whole lot of parts and the metal can be pretty easy to shape too. But like any of our builds, there are a couple questions that we have to answer, like, what tools do you need to build a fish? How do you actually bend all of these parts, and will it go together? These are great questions, and we're going to get the answers. Let's get down to the workbench and open up our package. And boom, just like that, we begin building our cod. And being that there's not that many parts here, this video isn't going to be too long. So let's get right into it, starting off with our instructions. These guys are clear and easy to read, and really the only thing missing from them is an indication on how to secure our tabs, whether that be a bend or a twist. We can use our intuition for the most part on this build, and again, because there's not that many parts, we should be fine. The next thing we need to talk about is our tools, and the first tool that I'm going to recommend is our nippers. These are great for cutting out all of our pieces. The only thing we need to do with them is make sure that we get right up to our part before making our cut. This will make sure that the part has a little bit of metal left over as possible on it. If you have any leftover metal on your part, this is referred to as a burr, and we need to make sure that those are all cut off and taken away because they'll actually get in the way of our pieces coming together and will make our model look all janky. The next thing I'm going to recommend is a classic pair of pliers. And the reason for this is because these guys are perfect for the majority of our part shaping with this build, especially because they have a really nice flat inside and they come to a good point here for some of our smaller pieces to be able to be grabbed and shaped. A good quality pair of pliers is a must for any 3D metal modeler. And finally, the last tool I'm going to recommend for this particular build is a dapping punch. There we go. A dapping punch. These are great for shaping the majority of our cylindrical shaped pieces, but they're also great for giving some definition to our fish. Now, if you don't have a dapping punch like this, you can also use a marker, maybe a really big whiteboard marker. Those are great for kind of getting a bigger piece here, and I think they'll be great for the majority of the shapings. Now, these are just our recommendations, and you really don't need anything but nippers and tweezers to build this build. But of course, having these extra tools here will make everything a lot easier for you. All right, now we've looked at our tools and we've looked at our instructions. Let's get into this build. All right, now as you've seen, we've been building our cod from the tail forward, and the only tricky piece we've ran into is shaping that little body part. Yeah, those can be kind of tricky, and the reason for that is I was going ahead and giving them a 3D effect. You really don't need to do this until you have the entire body assembled. Once you have the body assembled, you can take your tool, put it on the inside, and give it that 3D effect. Just keep in mind that whatever you do on the body, you're going to have to mimic on the head. So if it's nice and circular, you're going to have to get that same effect on the head, which might be a little tricky. So just kind of put these together a couple times, see how they're working together. If they fit together well, then go ahead and make the connection. If you have to work it a little bit, that's okay. But if you're finding it really not going together, don't force it too much. You'll get a hot spot or a crease or whatever, and it will ruin the entire model. So again, take your time here, match them up, kind of put them together a few times, and then try to make the connection. And you'll have a really nice looking cod. And boom, there we have it. Our carp all completed. And wasn't this build a lot of fun to put together? I mean, all of our parts came out of the part sheet seamlessly. The instructions were easy to read. And the only difficult part we really had was just trying to make sure that we had the proper girth here for each one of our pieces. If you follow these instructions step by step, you're gonna find this thing almost assembles itself. The only thing that I wish I would have done a little bit differently was before I installed the head, I would have kind of made this a little bit thicker. I think the girth of the fish kind of matters, but overall, I'm still really impressed by this. And because of how easy this was to build and how quickly it came together, I could see a lot of builders building several of these, and I kind of almost wish it was in color, because I think you could get some really neat effects. And now that I'm bringing some attention to this build, we might see some customization from a lot of you out there, and I can't wait to see that. Alright, Groovers, that brings us to the end of our episode. I had a really good time building the carp with you, and if you guys had a good time, don't forget to press that like button. For more videos like this, hit subscribe as well, as we've got all kinds of cool content coming out in the future, and I would love to have you there, including a certain, I don't know, Jawa sandcrawler? Yeah, coming up in the future. Until next time, keep building. Alright, buddy, now I just gotta find you a bowl. I think I left it in the kitchen.